Disney's All-Star Music Resort is one of Walt Disney World's value hotels where the sweet sound of music fills the air. Today, we're sharing the reasons why you should choose Disney's All-Star Music Resort for your next vacation. This is brought to you by Dreams Unlimited Travel. If you like our content, you want to support us, book a vacation through Dreams Unlimited Travel. It costs you no extra money. You get the support of one of the great Dreams Unlimited Travel agents. So head over to dreamsunlimitedtravel.com today for a free, no obligation quote. It's also brought to you by our Patreon supporters. If you want to get exclusive content from the DIS team, head over to patreon.com/DISUnlimited. Now, if you're watching this on YouTube, hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you get notified when we release new videos. We recently had the chance to stay at Disney's All-Star Music Resort, and we'll be sharing our thoughts on the larger-than-life resort. The hotel opened up back in 1994 and is themed to music, if you couldn't tell. Broadway, calypso, country, jazz, and rock, they're all featured with giant icons that are perfect photo ops. There are over 1,600 rooms at Disney's All-Star Music Resort, with some of those being family suites. There's shopping, there's dining, and arcade, plus there's easy access to the other two All-Star resorts. The pricing for the resort starts around $150 a night for standard rooms and $330 for family suites. So before we dive into our reasons why we think you should stay at the resort, what are our thoughts going into this? How do we feel about All-Stars? How do we feel about All-Star music
Craig,
in general?
let me ask you, who else is having this conversation with you?
Oh. Well.
Let me go ahead and introduce everybody. I'm Rhino. We have Craig Williams on the switch, and we got Hannah Anderson on the attitude.
You know what? I must have took that out of my script.
That's
and
okay.
I thought I was in the room alone. Hello. Hello.
You manifested us. It's fine.
Yeah. So
what was the question again?
What did
were
we
initial
think
thoughts?
about All-Star before going into this? All-Star music, All-Star resorts in general. What were our preconceived notions?
Loud and trash.
Wow. Okay.
Hot takes.
I don't even mean that in a rude way. It's just like that. I feel like we've worked in an environment for years where I've just heard a lot of negative things. I've heard that the hotel's kind of cheap. So I don't have a lot of experience with these hotels. So I'm happy to say that I'll say it right now here so that people aren't upset by me just saying trash, is that my perception immediately changed when we got there. So
Okay.
So I've not stayed in an All-Star resort since my first trip to Disney World in 2001. So it's been a hot minute. I've been back to the resort since then. I've had friends stay at All-Star Music, and I was kind of like, pleasantly surprised by it because it has, lots of, you mentioned larger than life characters, and it feels like you're staying at Disney, like in your face. Mm-hmm. But it also is more condensed than some of the other value resorts.
Then
or the
what's the one
moderates.
we just did with the tower, Grand Destino?
Oh yeah, Coronado Springs.
Coronado Springs,
Yeah.
very sprawling, very like long walks and stuff. Yeah, 100%. I would agree with that sentiment.
Yeah, and I mean it's obviously the best priced resorts at Disney World. So
I do know.
What was your
I do know.
preconceived conception?
Well, I
tell
actually, I don't mind All-Star movies just
Yeah.
because,
Toy Story.
it is movies and Disney movies are really important to me. My least favorite of the three All-Stars by far is sports.
Yeah.
Like, that's a given. And I love sports, but there is nothing there's nothing about it that I feel like I'm at Walt Disney World when I'm at All-Star Sports, outside of the fact that
Mighty
it
Ducks
is...
part?
Well,
no, that's also movies.
Oh,
yeah.
is that movies?
I- I'm-
Okay.
How about that?
I was going to go with like the fact that over the top theming does translate over to the other All-Star resorts.
Mm-hmm.
It translates over to Pop Century, to
Yeah.
Art of Animation. So that is like very much classic Disney with the look and feel of the entire resort. But outside of movies, I was never really a fan.
Yeah.
Including music. And I've had the chance to cover music before. I've literally, I think I've stayed at every All-Star resort now, and it's also
All
it's
right.
one of those things where it's never impressed me.
Wait. To quote Shania Twain, That don't impress me much.
That would actually be a very good quote for that. But overall,
I'm not gonna be able to come down from that. Let's go, girls.
Yeah, let's go, girls.
I'm a kicker of this table.
No. But for my family, if we stayed at a value resort, we always chose Pop Century, and I
it's got the Skyliner now, so that's
exactly
it's a hot item.
It is a hot item in that way. But going back into this, I was not excited. If we would have said we were going to movies, complete different attitude going into this. Like, can't wait to go back and see it and be there. But then it was like, oh, we are going to do music for a very specific reason. It's like,
hit us with that.
Okay. Well, we will get to there.
Right,
so
right.
I will say that while when you get there, it's an all-star, looks like an all-star,
Yeah.
And especially if you're driving in, it can be a little bit confusing once you start
I went the
circling
wrong
around
way. I went too
sides.
far.
Yeah.
You got to read because it's like movies, music, and then sports. And I think sports is at the end, right?
No, movies.
Movies, is at the
And
end.
I was like, I have driven too far and cannot read.
Well, I mean, even within the individual parking lots, like it'll say like
Yeah,
you're
the
at the Calypso
exterior.
building, but then it's like, well, yeah, but if you're on the other Calypso building on the other side of the pool, then you're going to have to walk. So
That happened to me.
It's stuff like that kind of like hinders the first experience once you arrive there. But as you spent the day there and was walking around, it was one of those reminders that just because it's a value resort, there's so many rooms, doesn't mean that it's overly large. Music, I feel like I just kind of was. It was one of those things. You're walking around in the first lap around trying to take it all in. Like by the end of it, it's like, oh, I spent 20 minutes like really taking time, taking photos, video, and I completely went around the entire resort. So
That's pretty good.
It's not that big.
No
So,
multiple bus stops.
yeah.
We got one bus stop.
Yep.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. So I really, really, really like my attitude started to shift right away to music. And I think overall, I tried my best to come up with 4 reasons. Maybe we will come up with a 4th reason why you should stay there. But I do think I have 3 good reasons of why
Let's
you
hear
should
it.
stay at All-Star Music Resort. And first off, I have to say the reason why you should stay at the resort is because you have to stay in one of these family suites.
There you go.
That they have there.
Yeah. Okay. So when you asked our initial perception, and I want to say right away the thing about, jumping to the word trash and comedic effect, whatever. But like the first thing we did was we went in to look at the suite, and it was like, holy cow! I didn't know. Not only did I like the design and the layout, it was huge.
Yeah.
And not expensive in relativity to other suites,
Exactly. And I think we got a annual pass holder discount for it.
Yeah.
Or it was an annual pass holder or a Florida resident, one of the two. But the total for it was $300 for our night that we were there.
Wild to me because this room easily slept 6 people and had 2 bathrooms.
Right.
Or more than 6. Wait, 2 in a bed.
I think it was
3 beds
8 total, wasn't it?
Well, there were 3 beds.
Yeah, so I think it's 6.
So it was 2 each bed. Yeah.
Sorry, there was the one big bed in the bedroom portion,
Right.
but then there were the 2
pull downs.
out front. So yes, 6. I apologize. Math I struggle with sometimes, and you know what? It's because it's not fresh in my memory because it has been a little bit since we've been in those rooms. So why don't we refresh our memories by letting Rhino take us on a little room tour?
Hey there, everybody. Welcome to the All-Star Music Resort. Come on in and let's take a tour of this family suite here. And let me tell you, this is a big room. Okay, I don't think I've ever been in a room in All-Star Music, especially not since they've remodeled them, but I opened the door and I was like, wow, I can't believe this room is as big as it is. And I feel like you're gonna say the same thing because this ain't the only room in here. But we're gonna start here in this room. Look at this. Couch, ottoman, table with 4 chairs. You know what I really like already is the cubbies in the back here because it's plenty of space to set down. Snacks is where my mind immediately goes to. Souvenirs. There's a charging station over there with 2 outlets and 2 USB ports in, I believe, each one of them. Let me just check real quick that there's a 3rd one. Yep. In each one of these, there's one of those. And then over here, On this guy, some would call it a counter, there's 2 more on either side. So in this room alone, there is quite a bit of charging because there's another outlet right over here. Outlets are important, I feel like. It's 2024. We've got a million electronics. You know what's also important? Efficiency and storage in a room, because this ottoman opens. This ottoman opens. I can't get a grip on it. This ottoman opens. Oh my, whose stuff is this? How rude. Yeah, this is pretty impressive room. Okay, before I show you the beds, because there's 2 beds in here too, I want to see what's in here. I haven't even opened any of these cabinets yet. Ooh, pillows. Oh, Jesus. 2 pillows, extra pillows. You got yourself a little storage space there. Let's look in here. Oh, a lens. We're free with the room. It's not. Please don't quote us on that. And 3 drawers here, which is nice. I spotted another outlet. This is going to be Find the Outlet. So there are 2 pull-down beds here. I'm going to pull down one of the beds because I think that's easier for us while we're filming. But let me move this ottoman over here, which I feel like, depending on where you've chosen to put your luggage, which I assume you'd put like over here or something like that, you can have another little seating area where you can put it at the window and line it up over there. So I am but one person with one arm doing this, and I am not strong, I promise you. Wow. Look at that. That's a nice touch up here. I like this because they're in the shape of the characters. Well, I don't know what character that is. Minnie? Minnie. Okay. She looks a little off the rails. But you got Donald and Daisy and Goofy and Mickey there just banging along. Should I sit on this bed? You haven't filmed the other thing yet, so let me... Something's in my pocket. Slowly. Honestly, it's better than I thought it was going to be for a Murphy bed. You know, sometimes they get those ones that are too thin and you can feel like the poles and everything underneath. And Mama, I do not want to be feeling that. Boom, you have company over. You're pulling that back up. Do you want me to pull this one down? It's got a really cool, it's got a better background than this one. That's the only thing. So I know it's I think something to discuss in this video is there are 4 chairs here that I don't really know that they have a very designated space where to go whence you have both beds pulled down. Because I don't think they're all going to fit over here if you've got luggage. Or baggage like myself. I have a lot of baggage, and you know that goes everywhere. Emotional and otherwise.
I'll just say, where you put the little pull-down thing, the other thing that could fit under the other bed, I think.
That cannot. I tried it before you got here.
Never mind.
Yes, because it's a little bit higher than the couch, so it sits a little weird. I thought it was supposed to, but I don't know. Corey told me it couldn't. See, this one has the better... I couldn't miss this one. Also, I love when the light snaps on like that, too. All done in that sort of style of the newer Mickey Mouse shorts, which is cool with the Hugh, Dewey, and Louie. I kind of love this. I love this one. I don't know. And they're sleeping. Nothing about this obviously says like All-Star Music or anything like that.
Absolutely does.
What?
Look at it and think about it again.
Oh, they're in a band. Oh, but then they're in a movie, but then they play sport. Oh, it's the 3 hotels. See? Takes a sec. Wow. I'm embarrassed for myself. That's fine. Videos forever. YouTube only lasts for a little bit, right? Oh, man. Time to have some food. What I also really like here is this little box right behind Craig. These are cute. I like this like style. I like how they keep them in the glass. They're like, don't touch them. You think that's Beyonce? No. Minnie Mouse. This ain't Texas. This ain't Disney. This ain't Disney. And then Donald with the Calypso is cute too, because they're in the pool here. There's the 3 caballeros, which is cool. But let's take a look at the bathroom now. As I wander over here, you've got yourself this like little closet, and then a little more storage up here, hats or whatever you want. The ironing board is over here, along with our friend the hairdryer. Plenty of shelves underneath for the DOP kits or whatever you call them. I don't know. Toiletry bags. I don't know what we call them anymore. But bar of soap. Appreciate that. I just feel like they don't really give you bars of soap anymore. I get it. Whatever. I like to wash my face with a bar of soap. I do like this inlaid lighting here. You know, whenever I get a house someday, move into a house, I want to make sure, too dim. I want to make sure there's inlaid lighting because I like the creepy eye effect it does. And then what's nice here is this is also still a separate door. Sorry, I had to go. And then you got yourself a bathtub. Great for people who have babies or just are really stressed out and need to relax for a little bit. It's not the world's largest bathtub, pretty standard. We don't have a separate handheld thing here either, which is a little bit of a bummer because I feel like that would help with the bass, but I don't have kids, so I don't know how that works. But speaking from personal experience, they got them locked up here. Should we continue on through this mansion?
Have you found the full-length mirror yet?
No, where was it? Was it on the back of the bathroom door? Oh, Disney loves hiding these now. That's great. I wondered why it folded in half. It's like a dorm room mirror. It's funny. Huh. This one closes too. Is there one on there too?
No.
Okay. So you can do the thing where you leave it open or whatever, you know, or however you want to do it. It's your choice. But hey, come on in. Let's go to the kitchen. Let's all go to the kitchen. Sink. Deep sink. Not to be confused with deep fake, but it works. It's nice. You got a regular size ice bucket here. Appreciative of that. But then you've got the Cuisinart, boo. You know, the Cuisinart's fine. It does its job. Leave it alone. I like that there's a microwave in here.
A tiny microwave.
Yeah. What are you going to... Oh, it gets smaller. For, you know, very, very... Yeah, you're going to be microwaving little things at a time. But I do like that there's a microwave. There is, like... Oh, hello. There is... Oh, hi there. Stocked with the finest silverware you can find this side of Bay Lake. I do like that there's a can opener, though. It's giving DVC sort of vibes a little bit. But the irony here is there is so much storage.
One roll of paper towel.
Yeah, one roll of paper towel. Also, what would you be doing over here that would possibly require this much stuff? Because there's no stovetop. I think they kind of missed, like, there could have been one of those, like, teeny tiny, you know what, they make them at, like, IKEA or whatever. They're literally, like,
a hot plate.
This big. Yeah, the hot plate, but they also do the induction ones, which are, like, this tiny. But, oh my God, what is wrong with me and refrigerators? Here we go. It was this side. I can never open them. It's not a bad fridge. You know what I like about this fridge? Upstairs freezer. I'm so exhausted by the ones with the stupid drawers on the bottom. But plenty of space there. Locked cabinet. Oop. Grandpa's old cough medicine is up there. This one's my favorite. The Goofy Rock. These are cute. And then this one can just go out to the dumpster. Broadway. Hey, come on into the old bedroom. Someone put some rat towels over here. I'm going to have a little seat here. Think about life for a quick second. Life. Well, that's that. I've thought about life. I like this lamp. It's got a little shelf on it. That's cool for your books or your iPads or, you know, charging or whatever. That's nice. Little side table on the bed again. I like when they're up in the air. Also easier to clean that way with another charging station and telephone. Telephone's everywhere in here. It's nice to be back in the 90s. And then also where Craig is standing, there's a nice little, there's another outlet as well as an area where it'd be like luggage or something, you know. Two more charging areas. And what's going to be in this one? I bet it's pillows. It's pillows. And a safe. Keep it in. Keep it safe. These are all empty. No camera lenses in this one. They smell like apple cider vinegar. Anyway, television, bedroom. I like this area too because this one is nice and high that when I roll over at night, it's high enough that I'll bang my head on it. Not really. I'm kind of being sarcastic, but also kind of like slightly serious. But it has 2 charging stations and a little light switch again. Oh, I was like, it took a second. I like this, it's the classic, but it's the new characters. I like that Donald got up here. Very appreciative of that. And I like that this is still another area that you can put luggage. And there's a bathroom without a door right here. I hate when that happens. Closet for hanging things, for putting things. Another little vanity area. You got yourself another blow dryer. One's not enough. Another bar of soap. I like a ledge. You can put all your hair products and everything here. And then, wait. No? So there's not one in this room. Oh, that's a bummer. Well, this area is a lot bigger than the other one. It's got it's got the handheld in here. The Proton stream or whatever you want to call it. You know what's funny? This tiny little shelf over here. It's like for the little man at Disneyland or whatever. Although we're at Walt Disney World, so that makes zero to no sense. But I'm legitimately like, is that for when you sit on the ground to wash a baby and you like put the stuff down there or something? Or you just sit down there? I mean, after the half marathon, I was basically just sitting in a shower for an undetermined amount of time. And that shelf would have done me well. There's another thing I wanted to point out that is in the main room. And there's a couple of things I just want to point out. I know it's a room tour, but this seems nice. It's a lot of space. I think we got this with an annual pass holder rate for around $300. And that's incredible, I think, at Walt Disney World for this amount of space for a room. But with it being in a value resort comes a little bit of wear and tear. I feel like if you look at the ottoman here, it's not the cleanest ottoman I've ever seen. And this is, there's like kind of some stains on this. And then there's also stains on the couch that make me regret sitting on things as frequently as I have been. But you know what I like? What's always a winner for me at a Walt Disney World resort? See? Stain. God, please don't be bodily fluid. Hooks! That's my favorite thing in a hotel room because jackets, hats, backpacks, whatever, I love it. I don't know why all hotel rooms don't have it. It also makes you feel like you can take your hat off and hang out for a little bit. I do like the light designs here, but also I didn't point out the cool lamp that had the music note in it. And I think that's it. I think this is a huge, an enormous room, and it seems like a great value to me. The rest of that, the reviewing of that and everything like that comes later with staying here. But hey, thanks for hanging out and doing this tour with me.
Rhino, thank you so much
Wasn't that so much fun?
That was a lot of fun. I really feel like you gave us a good look and feel of the room. So I was the lucky individual who got to stay in this room. And I know, right? It's like, if I have to, I will. But immediately it became a thing. Once we were in that room, I was like, I'm so happy I actually get to stay in here and spend some time. And if you're wondering, did I pull down every single bed and stay in them for a little bit? You're absolutely right. I did.
Well done.
On top of sitting on each of I sat in the couch area for a little bit. I sat at the table for the Murphy bed, and I wasn't as much of a fan of that one. Those chairs weren't very comfortable sitting there, nor was the couch itself comfortable. But as a bed, it got the job done. But I was actually shocked at the bed in the bedroom. I did not think that it's all stars. It's not going to be something that I'm going to actually feel comfortable with. When everyone left the resort, the day that we were filming the room and everyone got what they needed from there, I immediately took off my shoes and crawled in bed, and I think I was asleep within 5 minutes.
Oh, it's the best.
And it was
ain't no nap like a Disney nap.
It was super comfortable, and lucky for me, I had enough alarms set because that night we were going to California Grill to eat, otherwise I probably would have slept right through. It was that comfortable, and because All-Star also does have the motel style entry where you have the walkways on the outside. It actually, even though it was the daytime, because you just have the small windows and you have those blackout curtains, it still stays relatively dark in those rooms. It stays comfortable. And when you crank that air conditioner down low and you just get cuddled up in there, it was it was more than enough for me. But I'm still shocked by how large it was.
Yeah, it's
even
huge.
the kitchen size in there.
Yeah.
It's insane.
It was one of those two. It just was like that with the price, and I was like, this. I don't want to like blow it out of proportion, but I'm like, this might be one of the best values on Disney property.
Right.
Because it was just one of those where I'm like, I can't believe how many friends I've had come down who are splitting just a normal, a regular 2-queen room that is like that same price. And I'm like, okay, if you're already going to pay it, why not do this? And then you guys have 2 separate rooms, 2 separate bathrooms. I'm like, I'd pay if it was me and one other friend. I'm coming for, whatever, just to hang out at Disney, or maybe it's one of the Halloween or the Christmas parties, or maybe I'm not even coming to Disney. Maybe I'm going to one of the parks up the street. I'm like, that is a deal. That is finally the deal that I feel like, I know we talk about it a lot, and this is a Disney show to talk about this other thing, but we talk about Universal has really put their foot in the game with the hotels that they continually are building over and over again, which is great. And they have some really great like family suites for really affordable options. And I'm like, I had no idea. I feel like these are like Disney's best kept secret in terms of like hotel rooms. I had no idea you could even get a room this size. Like at a resort, at a value resort.
Yeah,
like
because your mind, your mind immediately goes to Art of Animation,
yes, exactly.
Those
Right,
family
or DVC.
suites or DVC,
Yeah.
and that all does come at a little bit of a higher price point, whereas this is on the lower end. Granted, you mentioned Universal; it's not in the same price point as Universal's family suites. You can still get better deals on those, but for Walt Disney World, it's going to be very hard to find this amount of space that you get paying out of pocket for the for everything you get with it. And at this resort, we know that the family suites are in the Calypso building, so that's right outside of the lobby. So it's also like it feels like it's preferred because of that.
Yeah,
you don't
100%.
have as much of a walk. Hannah, in terms of your travel agent expertise, how hard is it obtaining one of these family suites? Is this still a pretty hot ticket item? I know some of the agents say there's always questions about them, but is it something like that you can't ever get, and that's why so many people are wondering what's so special about them?
No, I think it's still like a best kept secret, because I do see availability for it pretty much all the time. Now, whether or not there's a discount for it is kind of hit or miss. It just depends. But I mean, really the value, because essentially it's 2 connecting rooms. So you're getting 2 full bathrooms, but then you also have that kitchenette area. The value on that's pretty huge. But no, I see good availability for it. I honestly don't have that many clients that ask for it, because I think that people just maybe don't know about it. But I'll tell you, so my little family unit, there's 3 of us, and I would be tempted to book a room like the All-Star Music Suites, because when you have a young child, they go to bed so much earlier. And so being able to put them in bed, close the door, turn on the sound machine, and then have your own space to, stay up and watch TV. You got a full kitchen there. That's great. I feel like it's really like for young families, this is super friendly. As Craig mentioned, you're closer to the lobby, so that puts you closer to the bus stop,
Pool's
to
right
the
there.
food, to the pool. So I think that space is pretty good. And like I said, based on what I've seen, the availability is pretty good. So we might have just ruined the best kept secret, but it's out there. It's for you guys.
Well, let's hope we didn't ruin that secret. But yeah, this room just really took me by surprise. And the only thing I will criticize it on is that while the rooms have clearly been refurbished over time, like Corey sent us a photo of the original rooms, because I had never known about them until recent years. And so I just thought he was making it up, like that the All-Star Music always had these family suites. I didn't believe him. And then he sent us the photos of the last time that the DIS had a room at one of them. And I mean, these things were so tacky, so disgusting. And it was
But that's what it was like back then.
I-
That was the magic of staying at Disney. You had the printed comforter, you had the printed carpet.
Yeah. Oh,
we
no.
used to like that stuff, okay?
We did, and luckily most of our tastes have changed. Most, but
Yeah, not mine,
everyone's.
evidently. I like prints.
You do like a good print.
I
do. hated the look of those old rooms. So of course I appreciated everything about this room, but I will say I feel like this room, after spending extra time in it, it feels like it is due for another refurb, just a refreshing. There was a lot of areas where it just needed repainted. You know, you could tell that people were like hitting luggage against the wall and kind of it's normal wear and tear, but again, it's a value resort, so you kind of look past those things, I feel like, a little bit more. But at the same time, you're paying still, like in a normal city, you can get a good hotel for the price that you're paying for a family suite here. So you still want to see a little bit of that TLC taken when you're staying in those rooms. You want to see them be cared for. That's part of the Disney touch with it.
Can I give you a hot take, though, that doesn't help our 3 reasons why you should stay here? Is that I do feel like the All-Star Resorts, they're due for some sort of refurb, and not all that comes down to like wear and tear type things, but you can tell, but I think the themes are still relevant. I think what they offer, the price point, all that's good, but I think they're, they could use some updates, some new paint colors, modern touches, maybe even listen, I love the Mighty Ducks, but it's funny to me at All-Star Movies that that is one of the premiere
Well, it's the animated
sections.
show too, which is wild, not even the movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So, and nobody would know.
I'm like, not to be rude, but
so
I watched
there's,
it,
it could use some TLC.
Well, you know what, though? That does lead into the second reason why I think people should stay there. And that is because of the overall theming of the resort and that beautiful 90s tackiness to it with the theming.
I do love that, though.
Everywhere. I guess there's a cynical side of me with All Stars where it was fine when it first opened up, and I think it was probably the 2000s when I started going to it. So I was a little bit older, but I still enjoyed the whimsy of it, and it felt cool, especially when you're in a section where you're like, oh, I love that. Like the one time I stayed at sports, being like in the baseball section, like it's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. Like I don't mind that, but I feel like it's one of those things that as I got older, I stopped appreciating the actual, that style of that time, because it is like it captured lightning in a bottle. It captured that moment and era, not just of the 90s, but of Walt Disney World in particular.
Are you talking about the Eisner era?
Absolutely the Eisner era. And I just, now I'm starting to come back around to it. Like, I know when I finally take my son over there that he's going to walk around those buildings, and he, like, when he is just mesmerized by something, he just like looks at it and goes, wow. And I know that's what he would do in every single one of these sections.
Can I tell you a secret, actually, is a local... Secret. Is a local. My son is super into Toy Story right now, and we literally did that one day. We went over to All-Star Movies, and we just hung out in that area and just looked at the giant Buzz and Woody, and we got food court pizza, and it was a great day. And it took me back to my early trips here, my early memories here. That was my first day, was in an All-Star Resort. And it's funny, actually, the first time, so we stayed at Port Orleans Riverside recently, and that was my family's like go-to resort growing up. And we would always order like the, large pepperoni pizza multiple times during our trip. And that was the cutest thing. My dad, that was the first thing he did, was went and ordered like a big pizza like we used to. So it's like, it's cool to, if you're a 90s kid, to keep those traditions going, to have that larger than life Disney experience.
Yeah. And with music in particular, I get it. It might not be the most exciting themes for you, but I feel like they still tie it in all together. Like the first 2 buildings right off the lobby when you're heading into the resort is Calypso. And so, that's like, I don't get excited seeing those Calypso buildings, the marimba, the maracas, oversized stuff, but the plus side of it is that it allows you to also incorporate the three caballeros into the pool area. So there you actually do get your Disney characters right there in that moment. And you have that. And as you keep going back, it's just kind of 50-50 on how you might feel about some of the themes. With the next up, I believe it kind of splits off, if I remember correctly, or it might go into jazz right after Calypso. It goes into jazz, and it's just trying to highlight jazz. It even has like a little New Orleans feel to it. There's a little park that they even have in there that kind of feels like you get that wrought iron fences that feels like a little New Orleans style park. So I like it. On the left side, you have Broadway, which I actually think is one of the best themed areas at any of the All-Stars. Like,
I would agree.
The two long buildings, they literally form a Broadway, and right in the middle of them, they have the marquees highlighting the Disney Broadway shows. And I just, something about it, it's like, it looks cool during the day. It looks cool at night. I just think that area is so well done. Not a lot of foliage in there, and the same thing happens over in the rock section. It's going from more like 50s rockabilly style rock, having like, I think they have the pink Cadillac that's parked in the middle there, and jukeboxes and oversized fenders. It needs more shade there, but if you want shade, all the way in the back in the country music section, like there is like where you got the boots, you have a lot of shade. Like there is this one massive park between the two buildings where they have picnic tables. So let's say you get that big family pizza and you need a spot to eat it. You don't want to eat it in the food court, intermission food court, that is. You have this area where you could literally haul your pizza all the way back there. These picnic tables that are just like
something about you saying haul your pizza really made me giggle.
You just gotta haul that pizza.
Haul your pizza.
On vacation, you're hauling your pizza.
What do you do on vacation? I haul pizzas.
You gotta work for that pizza.
True though.
If you don't work for that pizza, you didn't earn that pizza.
That's right.
That $30, probably $40 now pizza that you get at Disney. But no, I love that area back there. Like the years have been kind to the All-Star resorts in so many ways, and I think a lot of the foliage actually growing in has been one of them. So while this resort itself is not overly Disney outside of the three caballeros on the in the Calypso area by the pool, and then the Broadway side, the Broadway buildings having some of the signs for the Disney shows, that's really where you're getting the Disney touches brought directly in there. But beyond that, like, it still is really cool to see all of the oversized theming items in there. And I will say the themes are brought into the rooms too. We talked about the rooms already, but they had, like, at least in our family suite, they had at least one picture of the Fab Five that also represented each one of the themes for the different buildings, showcasing, music in that way.
Well, I like how they were like the album covers. I thought that was like a really nice touch. And that they were in that modern Mickey Short style too.
Exactly.
Oh, I know. I love those. Yeah.
Because then that blends perfectly with like the headboards and everything that you have in the rooms too. So I know that some people might scoff and be like I was before, this saying, why in the world would anyone get excited to stay at the All-Star Music Resort versus movies? And I kind of get it now. I really think that it has something to offer.
Well, I will say too, I don't think probably the majority of people are booking All-Stars to be like, rock on, that's my favorite resort. I mean, it could be.
Puns.
Yeah, I know. Ba-da-ba, still got it.
Giddy up.
Yeehaw. But I think a lot of people that go to the parks and are like, I am an open to close. I use the resort to lay my head down at night. Like that is a perfect group to book an all-star resort. Because why would you pay a premium price for, a pool that you're not going to use or amenities you're not going to use? Like, just, have the Disney touches, have the Disney transportation, have the extra magic hour, the early entry, and enjoy yourself.
Well, that takes me to the final reason, though, why we think you should stay at All-Star Music Resort. And that is because of the size of the resort and its actual proximity overall. And I think All-Star Music, definitely the one big takeaway I did have with it, as we already said, is that you can walk anywhere in this resort relatively quickly. If you are all the way back in the country buildings, yeah, you do have a little bit of a hike. Or if you're all the way down at the ends of the Rock or Broadway buildings, it can be a little bit, but relatively speaking, again, comparing it to Coronado Springs, comparing it to Caribbean Beach, a lot of those ones, this is nothing at all. But because of its size, because of the amount of rooms, it also has the amenities that come along with it. The Calypso pool, the main pool we talked about with the three Caballeros, it is a massive pool. Like, it is absolutely huge. It's in the shape of a guitar, which you have to really be in the Calypso buildings to look down and see it. But it's one of those cool little touches with it. But this pool area is just insanely large. Like, you're not, maybe on the busiest day ever, you're going to struggle to find a spot. If there's a convention, cheerleaders in town, maybe that'll hurt you a little bit trying to find an area there. But if that happens, you know what? That's okay, because you have another pool just a little bit further down by the jazz section, and that's the piano pool. And it's not nearly as big, but you still have that Disney theming in there. It is a little bit quieter. It's definitely more relaxed than you're going to have in the loud area, where you have lifeguards trying to get people involved in activities and make it feel like a party. But yeah, just because of the size of the resort, you do have those two pools. But even beyond that, when I say proximity, I'm not trying to get you excited about the fact that there's a McDonald's just right down the road.
Hey,
it
that comes
should
in
be.
handy. Don't scoff at that.
Should that be reason number 4?
It should be, yeah.
Well,
Mickey D's.
We'll return to that one then.
Honestly, you're
reason.
like selling this for me. Is like, so my kid loves Donald Duck and he loves McDonald's chicken nuggets. So I think we're gonna stay in.
Well, we'll see what reason number 4 is.
Oh,
we'll see what reason number 4 is. But I do think too, with All-Star Music, we've already said it is right smack dab in the middle of the two, and all three. So it's in between the other two. And what I love about that is that you feel like you are at the heart of this resort, and you have the option to go over to the other two resorts. This is, Walt Disney World has many running trails that you can find at all the different resorts. And with this one in particular at All Stars, they have it set up so you have a mile-long running trail that connects you to all three hotels, which that's great for all the runners out there and people who like to exercise. That you're not getting a gym here at all, but you're still gonna have the ability to be able to run if you want to. And being right there in the middle, you say, well, you know what? We've seen music a lot. Maybe let's pop over to All-Star Sports for a little bit and remind ourselves why we're happy that we chose music. Or you go over to All-Star Movies and you're like, you know what, this is cool. I just want to walk around. We talk about resort hopping so much at the Epcot area resorts and the monorail resorts by the Magic Kingdom. You technically have this too, where you can go around, capture those photos with your family in front of all the different icons at all three of those hotels right in that area. Those are going to be mementos that you have that then 20 years down the line, when you all come back together, right now, I think those hotels are still going to be there. I mean, they're already 30 years old now. Jeez Louise, already 30. I think they're going to make it another 20. So you can just literally capture that time, those family memories. And so I think because of the size of music in particular, but also what is so close by to it, I think that's a huge selling point.
I would agree.
Okay.
I would concur with what you've said.
Okay, one thing I want to point out, though, is that you aren't sharing buses with the other three resorts. So that's nice. I mean, you got the one bus stop. And I like that, too, because I was always like, when we would come on vacation, I would get a refillable mug, and I'm a coffee drinker. So like, I like the idea of like being able to stop, get your coffee, and then immediately walk out to the one bus stop without multiple stops. Like, I think that's, pretty nice.
Yeah. And I think that there's other good things about this resort too, in terms of, because of the size, all the different little amenities they have. The playground, particularly at Music, was right outside of the Calypso building. So like when we left our room, we'd look right down on it. I only saw 2 people there the entire time I was there, because it is so tucked back away and hidden. So that's another great thing to know. And it's completely shaded. Like, I don't think the sun could hit it if it tried. And yeah, once you have a little kid that's burned themselves on a playground completely exposed by the sun, you realize like you never want that to happen again. So they put theirs in a really good place. I know when I came with my family growing up, we always, when we would have the resort day, we did go and play in the arcade. And value resorts have a massive arcade, and it's right in that great location across from the food court. So you almost feel like you're in a 90s mall or something, where it's like food on one side, arcade on the other. Gift shop, not the greatest, but you do have everything right there. I am a weirdo, and I do like watching buses. And
what do you mean watching
Wait,
buses?
what?
I like watching buses.
Like, to see which characters come by? Like,
not
that,
which characters come by. I like watching them to see how often they're coming through, and
but
kind
they
of
have like
the
a
schedules.
sign that tells you that.
They do, but I like to I like to witness it myself and be like, if I was standing there being impatient, what like, how would I feel about it? It's
okay. I feel like I just learned your serial killer trait. Like, everybody's got one.
It's just I'm taking notes out.
Do you want to see the characters on the bus? No. Do you? No, I'm just saying.
It's just like Walt standing up on the train station, being like, "Where's that freaking train at? Come on, pull it around." It's the exact same thing. I'm saying, what are the buses? That being said, you mentioned it has the dedicated bus stop.
Yeah, was it
buses
quick?
Were not? They weren't coming
they weren't
very
quick.
quickly.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't. Not up to what I would like to see, especially from a value resort. And I even noticed the same thing when we returned for another extra dining review that we did there. I was sitting in my car just staring at the bus stop for like 30 minutes while I was on a phone call, and I'm just like, how are these people getting around? These buses are so slow.
So can I tell you though, my family, so we always drove to Disney World. And if we were staying at a value or moderate with only bus transportation, we drove most of the time, because if you stay at a Walt Disney World resort and you drive to the parks, the parking is free.
Yeah.
So it's, I get, obviously that's not everybody, but just, one thing to consider, you're really close to Animal Kingdom and a Blizzard Beach. So if the bus is taking too long, maybe hop in your car if you brought one.
And that brings us to our fourth and final reason why you should stay at the All-Star Music Resort. And that's because you are so close to Animal Kingdom, so close to Blizzard Beach, but you're actually Blizzard Beach. But you are extremely close to McDonald's.
You did it.
So close to a McDonald's.
We've all been to that McDonald's too. Let's not get
it's fancy now. It is so fancy.
Well, I remember what it was. I was looking for the plastic Halloween.
Oh yeah, no, I went there too.
Oh yeah, did you collect all of them? I did.
Yeah, I got them.
I didn't get all of the last round, but I didn't want all of the last round.
Can I tell?
I got the first round. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna tell the internet my serial killer trait, which was the most embarrassing story about myself.
Picking up kids at McDonald's.
No.
Children.
Yeah.
No.
Cheeky nuggies.
Chicken nuggies.
Meek flowers.
No, the
Apple
machine's broken.
pies.
Apple pies maybe, but the ice cream machine is always broken. So I've been Disney obsessed since the first trip we went, and I would hang on to like everything from our Disney trip. Like I would pick a flower and I'd be like, this was a flower that I picked on Main Street. I kid you not, it was the first time I had ever seen an automatic paper towel dispenser.
At
McDonald's.
What?
In 2001.
Does it say McDonald's on it?
Oh, I wrote on it McDonald's. And I found it like 2 years ago. in a box. I'll find the picture so we can insert it.
Oh my
And
God.
I saved it. So you know what? If you're like me and you obsess over everything in your Disney trip, you too can become a travel agent and talk about it in front of thousands of YouTube videos.
I've never known.
Viewers.
I feel like you're on. I felt weird when my mom asked me to clean out attic stuff, and I had the McDonald's
Oh, I know.
Power Ranger toys, the McDonald's
this is
bag,
worse.
and I was like,
No.
"What am I going to do with these bags?" And then you check eBay, and you're like,
This is worse. And yeah, my mom literally was like, we are downsizing. We are remodeling your house.
We
are
can't
gonna
store your
we're
automatic
dumping
paper
all this
towel.
stuff. And I did. I opened the box and I was like, oh my God. I also had a hot dog wrapper in there from Casey's from
hot
the.
dog.
Put that hot dog.
Yeah. So, anyways, I'm a real fan. Okay. Also, I'm from the country, so we didn't have
I don't
things
know
like.
if "fan's" the word I'm going to use anymore. Yeah,
And you're judging me for watching buses, and you're collecting.
She's over here
I
going
just-
through her McDonald's paper towel collection from
Yeah.
1996.
It's the first time she'd seen an automatic
Yeah.
dispenser.
And in her little child brain, she went, rip.
Archive
both the
it.
one sheet,
Archive
kept it
it.
in perfect condition.
Yeah.
Wrote on it.
I should
put
work
it
at
in
the
a
Disney
box.
Family Museum. Okay.
No.
Like, we
No.
saved everything.
You know, there was an episode of Only Murders in the Building where they go to the guy who they thought was security for Paul Rudd's character.
Oh, yeah.
And they're at his house looking
Oh,
around.
yeah, all his
Is that what your
collectibles.
house looks like?
Maybe. Perhaps. And I only eat dips.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah,
wrong-
okay.
That's the
Wait
wrong
a second,
character.
sorry,
Wrong
yeah.
character. Yeah, sorry.
I
Anyways,
hate-
go to McDonald's. It's right across the street.
Guys, this episode of the DIS Unlimited has been sponsored by McDonald's. I wish.
This is something else. Like I'm.
I felt like that fourth point was a little weak, so I had to come in with.
uncomfortable.
Like I understand hanging on to stuff. Like I understand like when you're at a Disney show or something and they shoot off the confetti at the end and
It's
it falls
same
on the
thing.
floor
It's same
and you
thing.
collect it. No, it was close. Like I understand that, and then you reach a point in your life where you're like, why do I still have this
Okay,
confetti?
you know
I
what
don't even remember which one it was from.
It's just a towel. Like just a
Just
paper
a towel. It's a white paper towel, but I did write on
I
it,
know
so you knew.
Can you just frame it? Don't
That's
throw
what I
it
was
away.
gonna say. I'm gonna frame it
It's
and I'm
been-
gonna put it on this little shelf, and only the true
I-
fans will know.
I can't even make Southern jokes about it, nor would
No,
I make
lived.
it. But
listen,
it's like,
I lived on the Outer Banks of North Carolina then. Like I wasn't even,
So
which
was
is
it the
nicer
fact-
than Mississippi.
was it the fact that it
Sorry.
was the first time you saw a
Yeah, and I was like, the
dispenser?
future is now.
So if it would have been at a Burger King, it would have been okay. You would
no,
have kept it too.
probably not, because
No.
it was at Disney. So I was like, it is Disney, and the future is now, and this is the coolest trip I've ever been on in my entire life, and that then dictated the next 20 years of my life. Bye. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing.
Well,
Craig, you
Comment down
You
below.
want to leave? more so now than ever.
I'm not mad. I'm just
Oh,
I'm
God.
just blown
impressed.
away.
I don't know.
I'm so cooler
Uh,
than you. It's fine.
You're fine. You're fine.
I feel bad about nothing that I have in my mom's boxes or bins or attic anymore. I feel absolved in this moment in time. Thank you
Yeah,
for this.
I'll bring the box.
This
up
was a
here.
gift. This was a gift.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Thanks for watching.
Hey,
This
you
was
know what?
something.
I'd like to see some comments and feedback on what's the weirdest Disney thing you have. And
No,
does it
for
come
real.
from the All-Stars?
And I mean, does this all get revealed during a resort review? I guess.
Well,
Yeah, it
that's why.
does.
This is why it pays
That's
off
the
to
only
watch or
relevant
listen to these
time.
all the way through.
All the way through to
Because
the
you
end.
never know
Yep.
what your was it the fourth reason or the 13th reason?
It was
was
the
the fourth.
13th.
Okay.
I was the
Sorry.
13th
Yeah,
reason
sorry.
Reason why.
that Craig left the Diz. I'm
Yep.
sorry.
You might have been, but okay.
He was great. My bad.
Okay. Any final thoughts on All Star Music Resort?
Oh, on the resort, my final thought is we're gonna have to clean house after you leave. But
I know
no.
where there's a great paper towel dispenser.
I only have
Where
one.
are the best places to wipe your hands at Disney? Well, let me tell you. No, I feel like I said it in the beginning. I was actually pleasantly surprised about the experience here and the offerings of the resort, and it does feel like you've already said it, like a little time capsule of a hotel bygone era now with a remodel, like with that suite being the way it was with like that modern sensibility
Yes.
inside of it. So.
Yes, here. Hannah, do you agree?
I don't feel like I have a leg to stand on now, but yeah, I think for families, especially multi-generational, or even if you have a little kid and you're looking for that extra space, I mean, having a kitchen at Disney is a huge plus too. Like
plenty of paper towels you can put in there.
Paper towels. You can even take a whole roll home if you wanted to. But no, I think having 2 full bathrooms when you're getting ready is a huge perk. I think it being a condensed resort is awesome. Yeah, price point is great. It's over the top theming. I'm here for it.
Yep.
So, and there's that McDonald's.
And I agree with both of you on that. So I think that's going to do it for this special Walt Disney World resort review. If you're looking to book a vacation to Walt Disney World, please consider using Dreams Unlimited Travel for your upcoming vacation. I'm sorry I laugh about that, but after
You can
paper
get
You
towel,
can request not to use me. It's okay. We have like 40 other really great agents who don't do creepy things like me, and I'm sure they'd love to help you.
if you send her like a tissue or something, I'm sure she'll keep it. For more exclusive content from the Diz team, head over to patreon.com/DizUnlimited. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit the thumbs up, leave us comments, questions, and suggestions on where we should stay next. And subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts and leave us ratings and reviews. So thank you for tuning into this resort review. We'll be back soon to tell you more of the best ways to stay at Walt Disney World.